and welcome back to the United Stand. It is countdown to kick-off as Manchester United face Chelsea at Old Trafford. It is a huge game for Ruben Amorim. It's a huge game for the fans. And the weather is just absolutely brilliant for it. I tell you what, you'd fancy a slide tackle in this weather, wouldn't you, Ricky? I'm joined by Ricky, by the way, godfather of the United Stand. So, Ricky, welcome. You excited?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to us talking about the team in a bit because there's that many different possibilities. You know, if you just change one player in the team, there's probably about 40 different possibilities what the team could be. So it'd be interesting to see what he does pick. It
will be interesting. And do you know what else was interesting? What Ruben Amorim was talking about? Well, he was talking about on Friday, but it was embargoed until later on last night, and also this morning some quotes are coming out as well, talking about how in time he will change the way he plays. But at the moment, even the Pope couldn't convince him that there's a different way to play in this current moment. Yeah, that is exactly what the guy said. So we're assuming we're going to be sticking with the formation. Whether he changes Bruno Fernandes in that, because that's the big one that's on everyone's lips, is going to yet to be seen. We're going to do our predicted lineup in a little bit as well. Team news is going to be super, super interesting. But starting off with a bang, Ricky, ex-Chelsea player Mason Mount is back and ready to play. Yeah. And Cunha, new signing that everyone's super excited about, which I know you've had a few question marks on, he's also fit and ready to play. So injury boost for Ruben Amorim too.
They're injury boosts, but are they injury boosts, i.e. are they definitely fully fit to start and they're worried that they might break down if they start the game? It'd be interesting to see, obviously, whether if fit the way Mason Mount was playing, he'd definitely be in the starting lineup for me. I'm not so sure Cunha would, though.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk through that when we do our predicted 11, but the fact that Ruben Amorim has them to choose from is going to make it, I think, a little bit more difficult in terms of his selection, because you look at where he's been playing Bruno Fernandes, and this was a really interesting quote that he said as well. He said on Bruno Fernandes that he's been playing him deeper to have more possession and have more control of the game. He said he's having to do a few more things, be a bit more disciplined. He's not got as much freedom, but he thinks it's the best thing for the team to play him there to dictate the possession. Do you agree with that?
No.
Why?
Well, typically, he isn't. He generally, look, I haven't seen the stats for the most recent games, but generally Bruno gives the ball away more often than most. So if you want somebody in there so that you can control possession and, keep possession of the ball, move the ball around the field, I just think there are better players at that than Bruno. I think he tries too many difficult passes, but sometimes even I know other players get short passes wrong, of course they do, but I don't think Bruno gets more short passes right than other players. You understand what I mean? I don't see any difference. So why does it help us to keep possession having Bruno there? I don't get it.
I mean, the manager has said that that's the way he wants to play. I agree with you. For me, I mean, we've talked about this before. I get where he's coming from in terms of Bruno Fernandes is comfortable of receiving the ball in them positions, and he's confident at taking the ball out from the back four. But for me, Manu is excellent at that. I think he's the best player in our team at that. And he talks about, being able to cover so much ground and being able to do the running. And Tull actually said this on the group chat, I want to make the other team do the running, and Manu will do that by the way he keeps the ball and the way he's so silky with it. So it'll be interesting to see if Kobbie Mainoo does get some time in the team today. Alejandro Garnacho returns to Old Trafford, Ricky. I mean, do you think he'll start for Chelsea?
I doubt it very much. I doubt that he'll start.
Enzo Maresca said he's ready to start.
Did he?
He did.
Oh, well, it's possible, but I mean, I don't know about the Chelsea squad who's fit and who's not fit, but surely Neto will start. And they've also bought this Gittins. Who else have they got? I think they've got another winger, haven't they, who's a decent winger. So I think
got Estavo.
Yeah, so there's not.
He's meant to be. I mean, I've seen him a little bit.
I can't see Garnacho starting. I can't see it.
When I watched him for Palmeiras in the Club World Cup, that Estavio, he looked top quality, and he's a young player. Right. But it'll be interesting to see how much game time he gets. I mean, I think Garnacho will get some minutes today, whether that is from the start off the bench. It's just whether you contain him. I mean, for me, I think it's a great opportunity for United if he does play. This will end up getting clipped off if he scores against us because he doesn't tend to track back. So you could be in a potential position where you've got Mbeumo and Amad one-on-one against Cucurella. Now, Cucurella is a good player, but whenever you have 2-on-1, it's really, really difficult. So that could be something that Ruben Amorim is eyeing up. I mean, I want to bring in some stats. And by the way, everyone, make sure you get your super chats in, get your comments in. Let me know how you're feeling. Crucial crucial game for Manchester United. If you think about the derby result, which was so drab and so disappointing, if you think about, games before that, Burnley, scraped over the line despite having a lot of opportunities, you still want a more convincing performance. The Grimsby game just leaves a massively sour taste in your mouth. Fulham game, wanted to get more of that, and then that loss to Arsenal, which actually was probably the most hopeful game of the season. Ruben Amorim, he's had pressure. He really needs to show something today. So get your comments in, get your questions in, and let us know what you're thinking and dictate the show with us as well. I mean, there's loads to get through. But just before we talk about what Ruben Amorim needs to do to start getting some wins on the board, because still not had 2 wins in a row for United. You're at home today, you're at Old Trafford. The fans want to see something. They're desperate to see something. I want to bring this into the show for everyone. Despite only scoring 5 times, Manchester United have had 94 shots in their last 4 Premier League games, attempting at least 20 in every game. They had 20 plus shots in more consecutive league games at Old Trafford between March and September 2012 under Sir Alex, when they had 8 in a row. So Manchester United, they're having the shots, 94 shots, but you've got 5 goals. I mean, Ricky, why do you think that is?
Is that this season? Is that
it's in the last 4 home Premier League games.
4 home games.
So, Burnley,
There could
Arsenal, and then it goes before that.
There could be one obvious answer, and I saw somebody today put something like that on Twitter about how many shots we've had, and sometimes you shoot when you shouldn't be shooting, and we do it far too often. We used to do it, especially when we had Garnacho, and Rashford was a culprit for it as well. But I've already seen Kuna run in and have a shot when he should have passed it. You know what I mean? So, and he's only played a couple of games, hasn't he? So I'm sure there are situations where we're shooting when we shouldn't be shooting. So the stats, people put those stats out as if to say, look how well we're playing, when really it could be a reflection of we could be playing a little bit better than having all those shots. A lot of people might not want to understand that.
I agree with it. People
think you're just having shots, so you're playing well, but too often you shoot when you should pass. And that's a simple thing, So it doesn't necessarily mean we're playing well or that we should be scoring more goals when we've had all those shots.
I agree. I also think, from watching United, the decision making in the final third is so poor. Sometimes we get into some good positions, but I feel like sometimes I'm watching it, I'm like, they pass when they should shoot, and they shoot when they should pass. You know what I mean? It's like every single time, it's like you've got 2 roads. One is, have you played the Game of Life, Ricky?
No, I haven't.
Where you can go down one path and it's like, the amazing life, you go into glory, and then the other path is just like some dark and drab and dreary end of life.
It's a game about fate, is it?
Yeah, and it's like United, every time it feels like we go down the wrong one.
It's like, wrong path.
How many times can you do that? So Ruben Amorim did mention that. It's something that Manchester United massively need to work on. And you can have XG, you can have expected goals, you can have touches in the opposition's box, you can have shots, but it's all about the eye test. And when you're consistently not putting them shots in the back of the net, when you're consistently not scoring enough goals,
and not creating clear-cut chances as well. A lot of them shots are not from, nearly all of them, they're not from clear-cut chances. We're not missing clear-cut chance after clear-cut chance. We've probably only missed, we've had, how many games have we had? 4. I bet we've only missed 4 or 5 clear-cut chances. 1 a game on average, something like that. Might be a couple more, but not many more.
Andre Frey says the chemistry of the front 3 is not there yet. Yeah, I get that. I get they are new signings, and I do believe players need to gel, and Mbeumo and Ahmad need to gel. You've got players in that front line that need to get to know each other, absolutely. But this has been going on at United for a long time, before them signings even came in. You also have comments in saying at least get crosses into our 6'5" striker. I'll be very interesting to see if he does start today. I hope he does. I think he deserves his first Old Trafford start. We need to start getting him off the mark, our striker that we've brought in. I mean, we've got some super chats here. I just want to address, Ricky is not sweating because he's so nervous for the game. People think you're that nervous, Ricky, to get 3 points that you're sweating away.
Hopefully it'll dry out soon.
It's not sweat. He's walked from the Metro
Walked from the cricket ground in pouring rain with my coat open like an idiot.
Yeah, so he's just absolutely drenched in the Manchester rain. Oh gosh, he's making me laugh that people are suggesting you're sweating away, Ricky. No, he's not. Oasterube says the sun shines with Queen Beth, thank you very much there in the comments. It's not shining Manchester, it's absolutely raining. Jared Palmer says, doesn't necessarily have to change the system, just play players in their proper positions. I don't think United are that bad, just played wrong. And Ian Beister says, if Garnacho starts, Ahmad has to play right wing back because Garnacho won't track him and Ahmad would constantly nick the ball off him. Well, I spoke about that in our road trip as well. I mean, you just look there, at Chelsea's form over the past, games that they've played so far in the Premier League. 3-1 to Bayern. I don't know if you caught it, Ricky, but I thought Chelsea actually played pretty well. Bayern are just incredible. You have 2-2 draw against Brentford. I just think Enzo Maresca didn't set up his best team there. 2-0 will to Fulham, 5-win Bulldogs through West Ham, and then 0-0 on the opening fixture against Palace, who are a very, very good outfit, by the way.
Very good.
But just from watching Chelsea, they're a good team. They've got some good players, and I think it's going to be really crucial what team Ruben Amorim does pick for his lineup. And we're going to go through our predicted lineup, Ricky.
Yeah.
But before that, I caught up with Ali outside Old Trafford, and here's what he had to say about his lineup for today's game.
I would start with, obviously, if you bought in Lemons, and obviously Bendu has been a nightmare recently, so I would start with Lemons in goal. I would come with Euro. Euro has to start, and Maguire has done nothing wrong not to start right now, so it has to be Maguire. And you either start with De Ligt, or I would drop Shaw. It would be Maguire, De Ligt, and Euro. And then I would start with Mainu, with Casemiro, and I would have Dogu. I'll give him another chance. I will have Maz, and I would start with Cunha and Buemo and Sesko. That would be my starting 11. I would drop Bruno just to see how the team is without him, because I think Bruno hasn't been working, so hasn't Ahmad. So I would drop these two players for the next game at least, because we've tried that and it hasn't worked. And if whoever's doing well, if you don't play them, then what's the whole point of rewarding those who are actually doing well? Because manager has been back. We've sacked all the players. There's been the bomb squad. Everybody's doing well away. Rashford's, I don't understand. I do understand the attitude. I do understand. But that's what Cantona had an attitude. What's the obsession about people having attitudes? Like, that's what United is. United is, if he didn't have his attitude, he wouldn't be Ronaldo. Cantona changed the fortune of this club.
Different between attitude, though, and doing Ronaldo has an attitude, but he's a proper professional. The way he trains, the way he conducts himself, the way he eats, the way he goes out.
Can I ask you a question? When did you see Garnacho actually come out and attack United as a club?
Well, that is my question I wanted to do next, because obviously we don't see everything behind the scenes. Garnacho, Amorim, we face him, and Enzo Maresca said he's ready to start. Do you think it was the right decision by United, by Amorim, to let him go, or would you have rather have kept him?
To be honest, I feel like we sold him for peanuts. The kind of ceiling that he had, I feel like we could have easily gotten 60-70 million, or just loan him out, just see how it turns out. If he does well in another league, sell him for a higher price. It's just that I don't understand, like, fair enough, if a manager is not getting along with a player, you would rather, instead of keeping him in the fringes, might as well sell him. But for what price though? If we are supposed to buy somebody like Garnacho right now, we would be paying 60-70 million. I mean, think about it, like, why are we selling players on a price? You'd be like, if you want him, 60 million, or we'll just loan him out for you. It's just we're not getting the price, and then it's just with Højlund, it's just I feel like we shouldn't have sold him. We should have loaned him out. Like, we keep chopping managers. Ten Hag did us dirty with all these signings, and the way even Alvaro Fernandez, he was playing for Real Madrid left back. Look at him. We sold him for peanuts, and we buy somebody like Dogu who's struggling in the Premier League. Like, why we keep? I understand giving the managers, your coaches, all autonomy, giving them power, but to a certain point, there has to be a point where the board has to come and be like, fair enough. This is a prize asset. We can't sell him, or we have to sell him at a certain point. Or the best way is loan him out. With Garnacho, I just feel like it was just too, what if for example, we sack Amorim, then what?
Yeah, I think that's a question that you can ask, but we'll have to wait and see. But look, Ali, thank you so much for joining us, and appreciate all your thoughts.
Okay, everyone, that was Ali. Some really interesting bits that he said there. I think the big one that I could see the viewers getting talking about in the comments and kind of disagreeing on a little bit and having a back and forth was dropping Bruno Fernandes. I mean, Ricky would be on board with that. I would drop him from this position, but I would still keep him in the team. What would you do? Me and Ricky here are going to do kind of a mix of our predicted lineup / what we want Amorim to pick. This is really good. We use the board to do it, and we got it massively wrong for the derby. Let's see how close we can get for this game against Chelsea. And of course, you guys help us out. Help us pick this team. And if me and Ricky are having a disagreement on a player, I'm going to go to the comments to see what you guys think. So, starting off, Ricky, with the goalkeeper. Bayern Day, against City, were you convinced that he should stay, or do you want the new guy, Sonny Larmans, to come in?
What I want, or what the manager's going to do, I think the manager's going to stick with Bayern. I wouldn't be against giving the new lad a start, but I've not seen him, Beth, and it's so difficult to say just throw him in.
You've seen Bayern, Ricky. You've seen Bayern.
I just think he will stick with Bayern. That's my shout.
I agree with you. I think he will, but I personally think today is the game to start Sonny Larmans. Bayern against City just filled you with no confidence, did it? And I think it's Old Trafford. The fans are going to be behind him. However, the weather, it's a tough day for a goalkeeper. But I'm going to go Sonny Larmans.
You go for it.
Are you all right for me to put it in?
Oh yeah, I'll settle for that. Yeah,
I feel like I'm stealing Maud's job here, so bear with me. Let me get the S looking a little bit better. Here we go. Oh, it's too thick now. Here we go. Sonny Larmans in goal. Centre-backs, Ricky. See, I have seen some combined 11s for Chelsea United, and De Ligt's like one of the only players that's getting in the back line. A lot of people have been bigging up De Ligt, think he's probably been one of the best players this season, but I know you have a different take on this. So would you still go with De Ligt central, or would you go with Harry Maguire? Because I know there's a few things De Ligt's done that you've maybe picked up on that you're not too keen on.
Yeah, I would probably shift De Ligt to the right if it was down to me. I'm not going to say that on this board. I'm going to say on here what I think the manager's going to do. But I won't be against giving De Ligt a game playing to the right, which was where he played in the last 10-15 minutes of the derby when Maguire came on, and then Maguire at centre back, in the pivot, the main role. So that's what I wouldn't mind seeing happening. But I'm not suggesting that is going to happen.
I mean, everyone get in the comments what your back three would be. What do you think the back three is going to be?
I think he's going to stick with it. Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw.
You think it's going to be Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw again? You don't think Mazraoui will come in here? Because there is arguments for Mazraoui to come in.
There's an argument for Mazraoui, but with a little bit... I mean, I know Ahmad could play wing-back, but we're playing Chelsea, who've got good wingers. I just think, again, he's going to want the two full-backs as his wing-backs, which is going to give us... When we get into the midfield and the number 10s, we've got loads of options. But I just don't see Mazraoui being able to play as a centre-back because he wants him as one of the wing-backs.
Well, I'm going to say right here, right now, is I'm not having Mazraoui at wing-back in this game. I'm going with Ahmad, and I'm going to put my foot down on that one, and I've got a reason why.
Okay.
So I am actually going to, in this game, it's really difficult. Guys, get in the comments, what would your back three be and help us out? I think we're definitely going to be De Ligt central.
Yeah.
Are you going to go with that?
Yeah.
So we'll go with De Ligt here. And then I just think the left and the right side is going to be interesting. I've seen a few people saying they think that he's going to drop Luke Shaw, play Lenny Yoro on the left and play Mazraoui on the right.
Saying that. I cannot see it. Since, like you've just said, I think you've just said it's definitely going to be Ahmad as a wing-back. So if we accept that, which we will accept that, if Ahmad's going to play wing-back, it means that Mazraoui is available to play in one of the centre-back roles. So with that knowledge that you've just given me,
I'll put him in here.
With that knowledge that you've just given me, I'll call it knowledge, it's your opinion, maybe you're right. So if Ahmad plays there, it means Mazraoui is available. So my two centre-backs there are going to be Mazraoui and Shaw.
Okay. Do you want to go with it?
Yeah,
I'll let you do it. Go on.
Well, it's what I'd do, but will the manager do that? I'm not sure.
I'm letting you take the reins, Ricky.
The
reason, because I've picked Ahmad there, I'm gonna let you pick this one. I'm gonna let you. I'm in control of this. I've got the pen. I'm gonna let you. But with Ahmad being there, the reason why I want to do it, and the super chat before summed it up perfectly for me, is that if, and it's a big if, but Enzo Maresca hinted that Alejandro Garnacho is going to start this game. They've used on the graphics for We Take on Old Trafford a picture of Garnacho solely, looking very serious. It feels like Garnacho is going to start. It feels like that's how they're setting it up. And if he does, I think it's a real opportunity for Manchester United to go at Chelsea down that left-hand side. Of course, you've got to come up against Cucurella. Well, down the right-hand side for us, the left-hand side for Chelsea. Of course, you've got to come up against Cucurella, who is a top full-back. Like, we all know that. He's in my FPL team. Even though he can be frustrating for opposition fans, he's a good player. However, no matter who it is, you could have the best player in the world there, the best defender in the world. If you are against two attackers in Ahmad and Mbeumo coming at you, it's going to be difficult for them. Garnacho will have to track back. If you've got both Ahmad, both Mbeumo, going in and out causing issues, I really do think that we could maybe hit Chelsea there in a little bit of a vulnerable spot if Garnacho does start.
I know where you're coming from, and if
We've seen it for us before when he's played for us.
Garnacho's tracking back isn't the best.
Do you remember it at St James's Park when I think they highlighted it on Match of the Day, and you had, I think it was Garnacho and Rashford at the time, and they highlighted the fact that Newcastle were just overloading with their fullbacks and their wingers, and our fullbacks couldn't take it because it was 2-on-1 every time, and Garnacho and Rashford were not getting back in the right positions.
I do remember it.
Enzo Maresca's probably going to drill it into them, but it's still something to look at.
Yeah, without doubt. If Garnacho, we don't know for sure, but you were thinking that Garnacho's going to play. If Garnacho's going to play, there's two schools of thought that in that as well. Even though Ahmad could probably get the better of him going forward, the manager still might think to himself that he wants a fullback marking Garnacho when they're on the attack. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah,
it could be either way. It could be either way.
You could, but we're at Old Trafford. We're at Old Trafford. Go at him. Right, I'm going to put Brian Mbeumo there then.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a nailed-on player for us.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good idea to put the nailed-on ones in first.
Yeah, any others that are nailed on, do you reckon, Ricky?
Well, for me, Luke Shaw.
Well, I want to go Luke Shaw. I'd pick Luke Shaw, but I feel like we should let the chat get involved and maybe pick that position. Or do you want to stand by it? So,
what are they going to do? Let them vote?
Yeah, we've got people in the comments saying Yoro is faster than Shaw, some people backing Shaw, some people say Garnacho's 100% going to start today. Let me know your feelings. But I want to run a poll and we'll leave that position till last. Who would you go on the left side in centre-back role? Would you go with Lenny Yoro, who has had, I think, a decent start to the campaign, has massively improved in Manchester United, who's got a lot of potential, but still, still has got things to improve on. His heading needs to be a little bit better. Decision making at times needs to be a little bit better, but is, in my opinion, going to be a top quality centre back, learning game in, game out. And if he did, get rotated today, it would really be dropping him from Ruben Amorim. And after what Bruno Fernandes said about him not jumping in and covering properly in that interview, he did kind of highlight him a little bit.
Which shouldn't have threw him under the bus there, Bruno.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I really didn't like that. So would you go with Lenny Yoro? Very good shout. He's played on the left really well, played on the right really well. He can do any role really. He played on the left a lot towards the back end of last season. Or would you go with Luke Shaw, who, Ricky, is getting a lot of stick for the derby, and of course there is things that he did wrong. He did get skinned, he maybe did dive in too quick a few times, but overall, when you watched it back, because you've messaged me, you were most impressed with him out of all the centre-backs, weren't you?
He's almost always the better player. What a lot of the fans do, I point out a couple of things here quickly. I won't say too long, Beth, what I mentioned to you. So, when City were defending, if you draw the line through the centre of the pitch there, if we're attacking down this side, City had all four defenders this side of that halfway mark. And then when we were attacking, if City were attacking this way, we had four defenders this side of draw that line right through the middle. So Luke Shaw was coming over. So you're defending half the pitch, you're making it all compact, like City were doing here, and you can't get through. But when they were attacking down this side, it regularly happened that it was only Dorgu there, Shaw there, and De Ligt and Yoro were over here. And they're not doing the jobs correctly.
They're not moving over.
So we're defending with two players on that side of the field, where City always defend with four, whichever side it's on. We defend with four when it's on this side. So Shaw's doing his job.
I've seen the clip on your Instagram.
Shaw's doing his job. De Ligt and Yoro are not doing their job.
So what you're basically saying is Shaw was moving over across with them. They weren't moving across with Shaw, so he's exposing him.
He's getting hung out to dry. So on that ball where he gets beaten by Doku, he's got Reinders 4 yards to his left, virtually in the box. And if he strides forward, the ball can be shoved to Reinders and he's in the box. Doku, when he receives the ball, is 6 or 8 yards outside the box. So that, even though they end up scoring, obviously when you're on the pitch you don't know that's going to happen, even though they end up scoring, Shaw took the best option. Let him give it there, it's 8 yards outside the box. He's nearly in the box, Reinders. He couldn't leave Reinders.
Interesting. Do you like Ricky's little tactical breakdowns? I do. I like them. Make sure you look at his Instagram after this as well, Rick the Red, because there's a little bit more detailed breakdown in there for you to go and have a look at, and you can understand fully watching the footage, which I wish we could show, but we can't. What are you saying?
Not too many, virtually all the fans, they think De Ligt's playing great because he wins his headers and wins his tackles. There's a lot more to football than winning your headers and winning your tackles. Positional sense is just as important.
Well, Ricky's said it. What do you guys think? Right, we'll come back to that one. I'll run a poll. Yoro or Luke Shaw? Ricky's made his case for Luke Shaw. You get voting in your poll what you think. I'd be happy with either one of them, to be honest with you. Midfield pivot, Ricky, what are we saying?
I think Casemiro will come back in, don't you?
So do I.
Yeah. I think Casemiro will come back in. And we said we'll put in the obvious ones, and I think, well, he's more or less said it, the manager. I think Bruno's going to play in that role. I know you'd probably like him further forward. I would, but I wouldn't. Then you're going to want Bruno further up here.
I am.
And you've got Kuna.
Kuna might have just come back though, so I reckon they'll be on the bench.
One of them could start, and hopefully the other one could come on. But I know what you mean by that. But I just think he spoke. Well, hasn't the manager spoken about needing him controlling the game from deeper?
Yes, but I'm just thinking, this is the perfect game for Kobbie Mainoo, right? You've got Enzo and Caicedo in there to contend with. I think Kobbie Mainoo needs to be in there. I think Bruno and Casemiro will struggle with Caicedo and Enzo.
I agree with you. I would do that. So, like you said,
should we just do it?
We're doing a bit of mix and match, aren't we?
Should we just put Kobbie in there?
I think the manager... Well, it'll be wrong, because I think the manager's going to pick Bruno. But I wouldn't mind Kobbie whatsoever.
Right. I've put Kobbie Mainoo in there. We can change it a little bit, but yeah. We're basically doing the team that we want.
Yeah.
Left wing back, Ricky.
It's going to be Dorgu again, I think.
Yeah. God, can only just reach.
I don't think there's many options with Dalot being missing.
That K's really annoying me, so I'm redoing it. Sorry, guys. I'm a perfectionist. It's what you've got to be in life. Actually, it can hinder you sometimes. Right. Left side.
Like you said, could be Kuna, could be Mount. If you're not putting Bruno in there, like we've said, it's a bit mix and match. What will the manager do? Bruno's going to be in the side, and I know you want him in the side, so it'll be Bruno.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
Bruno
Fernandes in here. I think Mount and Cunha will come off the bench today. Are we going Benjamin Sesko up front?
Yes, definitely. He's got to get a run of games, get a bit of confidence, and I'm desperate, and he'll be desperate to get his first goal, and I can't wait for it.
I know people are going to be... I mean, I'm Mason Mount's biggest fan. If he's fully fit, there is genuine, serious conversations about this position.
Yeah, genuine.
Genuine, serious conversations. I even think he could play here.
Yeah.
I want Kobbie to get his start at Old Trafford against Chelsea. I think it's a big game for him. I think after when he came on in the derby and looked the sharpest, I think he deserves it. Bruno's going to start further forward, play him in his best position. He's getting rinsed by everyone right now. Get him in his best position, and I think he'll perform. Sesko's got to start. He's your striker, you've invested money into him. His first Old Trafford start. Let's get some crosses into the box and let's see how he does, right? Cunha and Mount are not in this side, which is tough. You know, Mount's ex-Chelsea, you want to see him start. Cunha is new signing, fantastic player. However, I think we're copping out a little bit here by thinking that it's going to be not quite fit enough to play from the start. I think they'll be used because they're just coming back from injury off the bench. However, when they are both fully fit, serious decisions for Ruben Amorim. Serious decisions. I mean, let me know what you guys think. There's one position left.
Which they're picking, aren't they?
The viewers at home are picking. Ricky's not conceded. Let's see what you guys think on this one. We've got Yoro or Luke Shaw. What are you thinking it's going to be, Ricky?
They're going to say Yoro.
Do you want to guess the percentage?
80%.
It's more than that.
More than that.
88% of you guys at home would rather start Lenny Yoro. So, Ricky, I know I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw as well. Don't think it was his best performance in the derby. However, I do think he's our best left-sided centre-back. I do fit right now. When Martinez comes back in, you have to have a conversation, but I still think Luke Shaw is probably like top. But the comments have gone on Lenny Yoro. I still think he's a really good player, and I think he can play this position. So he would finish it off. Look, the last thing I want to say on this 11 is, if you saw the team sheet come out today and this was the 11 that you saw facing Chelsea, would you be confident? Would you be happy? Would you look at the team and say, you know what? Go on, Ruben. You've picked a good team there. Or is there anything you would change? Let me know. We've got a super chat in here from Nazaruddin Shah saying, can we get a petition to ban Ricky from going on holidays during the season? Happy to see the Don on the show. Couple of beers for Ricky and Beth. Thanks both for a great show. Thank you very much for your lovely message. You've got Diwa in the comments saying, I would start Mazraoui, Maguire and De Ligt.
Rob Always United says, I'm happy with that. Chris, the only one, says, nope, it would be Bruno on the bench for me. Just Keevan says, that is a good team. Couple of people suggested Ugarte, and Steve Bacon replied saying Ugarte can't pass wind. The only thing where I think there would be an argument for Ugarte is if you want to do an Ander Herrera on Eden Hazard job, like with Cole Palmer, because Cole Palmer can do so much damage. If Amorim wanted to kind of set up like that, that would be an argument for him, but that's not enough to get into this team for me. So yeah, that is our starting 11, Ricky. Should we go back, have a little chat and discuss some team news when it comes out?
Yeah, how long have we got to wait now to get the team news?
How long got to wait? We've got 8 minutes till team news.
Can't wait. We'll soon know how many we got right.
I know. I wonder, do you know what? Every week we should see, and then we'll see if one week we get it dead on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? For some teams, you would look at it and you'd be able to get it every single week spot on, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd be able to see
or more
exactly,
often than not,
exactly what people are saying. But do you know what? Would you be happy if you saw that team, Ricky? I know it's not your 100%. I know you wouldn't have Bruno in. I know you would have Luke Shaw in. But would you be happy with it?
Probably not, no. Probably not.
You've just helped pick it.
I know, it only helps pick it up. I didn't get my own way with too many players.
What changes would you make?
I'd have Luke Shaw left-sided centre-back without a doubt. Like you said, we've got Mason Mount and Kuna on the bench. One can replace the other. They don't have to do a full game. So I'd go with Mason Mount where Bruno is. And that's about it, really. I'd like Dalot to play on the left instead of Dorgu, but obviously he's not fit.
Dallot's not fit. What about your left footers on the left, Ricky, and your right footers on the right?
Yeah,
what about that?
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, it is a stickler of mine, but I just think there's a big difference between the two players, and sometimes there's that much of a difference.
Ricky.
Seriously, there's not much of a difference. It's like chalk and cheese. It's like a bull in a china shop, Dorgu.
What I would love to ask Ruben Amorim, and let me know what you guys think about this. I'd love to ask Ruben Amorim, is it your plan, is it your design to have Patrick Dorgu in the best attacking positions over and over again? Because this isn't a slight on Dorgu either. Like, I think he's another one who's being hung out to dry a little bit. It's always falling to him every time in the final third. And it's like you've got players that have, a better end product that you want to be utilising a little bit more in the final third there. So I'd be interested to know what Ruben Amorim's response to that would be. We have Robert in the comments. He's put a really interesting super chat in. He said, think about Arsenal under Arteta the first 3 years and look at it now. Just because things aren't going our way doesn't mean it's not improving. Give him time.
I think that's a fair shout. There does seem to be a bit of improvement in the way we're playing, which a lot of people might go, why, but we've only got 4 points. We've discussed this already, haven't we? When you looked at the fixtures, when the fixtures came out, because we're Man United, I hate to say that's all you can expect from them 4 games. But since we were the team that finished 15th, let's pretend we're not Man United.
Yeah.
A team who finished 15th in the league last year have done as well as you can expect from them 4 fixtures. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's a very good point. You think about it, and although we all want us to be better, we want us to be competing with Man City, we want us to be beating Arsenal, both of them teams are better than us. Like, they're our losses in the Premier League, and both of them are better than us.
And Fulham away is a tough game. We've got a draw there.
Some would say, they're on a similar footing to us of where they're going to be finishing in the league. Is that our competition? And you go and get a draw.
I think they finished top 10, didn't they, Fulham? I think they did.
I'd love top 10 this year.
I'd take it. Hate saying it, but I would.
Everyone, make sure you smash a like on the video, share it round, come and join us. This is the place you want to be for the build-up to the Chelsea game. You have ex-Manchester United graduate, academy graduate Alejandro Garnacho playing for Chelsea, ex-Cobham graduate, Chelsea graduate Mason Mount in the squad to face Chelsea at Old Trafford. It's going to be a big game. There's a lot of rivalry there. United are desperate for the 3 points. Chelsea are also desperate after dropping points against Brentford and a drab Champions League result for them despite a decent performance. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one.
It's massive.
It is. So smash a like on the video for us. Get your comments in. Let us know your thoughts. Just on that, Ricky, Chelsea having that midweek game, flying over to Munich and then, having to travel up to Manchester. Do you think that puts United in a more beneficial position? Is it something that you want to be seeing, a little bit extra energy there from Manchester United today?
That's been said down the years, and I've often wondered. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when you're playing midweek and then you're playing a weekend, you've got a little, you're not training quite as much. Players enjoy playing more than they enjoy training. Obviously, there's the argument that you can get on the training pitch more and you can work out things a bit better. It really is a toss-up, Beth, between whether you're better off being in Europe or being out of Europe. And to be honest, I'd rather be in it than out of it.
Oh, I'd massively rather be in it. But does it give Chelsea a disadvantage?
Yeah, well, does it? I honestly don't know the answer. I honestly don't know. I'm just saying that's what's been said over the years, but it's also been said that players prefer to play. And I know a lot of people say that they play, the teams that play every Saturday and every Wednesday or every Sunday and every Thursday or whatever it happens to be, that they're playing too many games. Maybe they are playing too many games. It takes its toll on the body over the course of a season, but not 4 or 5 games in. And especially in this day and age of big squads. You know what I mean? I'd love to know how many Chelsea players have played, even 4 full games. It won't be many. So I don't think there's any disadvantage to Chelsea from actually minutes on the pitch. Whether the travelling affects them, I won't like to say. I don't know. Just
on Chelsea there a little bit as well. Where do you think their biggest threats are? What do United need to look out for?
There's 1 or 2 obvious ones. Obviously, Cole Palmer. Neto's absolutely brilliant, isn't he?
Do you rate Neto?
Yeah, Neto.
I like Neto, but I didn't know if he'd be the type of player you'd like.
Yeah, he's good, Neto. He's rapid. Plays with his head up, looks to pass it. He's a good player, Neto, without a doubt.
Do you reckon if Garnacho scores, he'd celebrate? That's a question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah, he'll celebrate. I think he'd be over the moon if he scores Garnacho. I won't be surprised if Garnacho only got... It wouldn't surprise me one bit if he didn't get on. If Chelsea are winning, he might not even bring him on. If they need a goal, he might bring him on. So, there's a chance he might not get on. I hope... How can I put it? I hope he does get on, because if he gets on, it might mean that we're not losing. You know what I mean? So, I hope he does get on in that respect.
We've got Chris Jackson saying, give armband to De Ligt, freeze Bruno to be dropped. I mean, I don't think the captaincy is a reason why you wouldn't, take someone out of the team if you wanted to do that. Like Odegaard got benched for Arsenal and he's captain. Like you can do that. Yeah. You've got a leadership team there. It's not as if you should take the captaincy off Bruno. When he plays, he's captain. But I think it's just the fact he thinks he's the best player to play there. That's what Ruben Amorim thinks. He might be one of the only people that in the world that think Bruno is the best player to play in a pivot. I think he should be in the team. I think he's getting a lot of disrespect recently because he's being played out of position, therefore not playing his best. If he's playing in his best position, I get that, but I don't think the captaincy has much to do with it, to be honest with you. It's obviously a big weight in Manchester United, but I don't think it's something that would mean he's not getting dropped. I want to do something really interesting before team news, Ricky. Come back to some of the super chats as well. But comment your thoughts. I'm going to go through Chelsea's last starting 11. I'm going to go through United's last starting 11. I'm going to go player by position. Who's better? See who we think is the better team here. I think a lot of people would obviously say Chelsea are probably going to have more players in there. But I want to ask you, because often, Ricky, you have a different opinion to most. You know that?
Yeah, so people keep telling me.
So it's interesting to know.
I just see football, I see it better. I'm not frightened of giving me opinions.
And that's why we love you. That's why you're the godfather of the United stand. Right, so we've got Robert Sanchez for Chelsea or Altay Bayındır for United.
I think you've got to go with it. I'm not absolutely convinced by their keeper, but, like you said when we were stood up there, Bayındır's not pulled up any trees, has he? So I'd go with the Chelsea keeper.
You'd go with the Chelsea keeper. All right. It's interesting because they play a back 4. So how I'm going to kind of do that, I'm not sure. I'll try and think about United in more of a back 4 sort of position. Yeah,
just compare their 4 defenders. Let's just do 10 players. Go through 4 of their defenders with 4 of our defenders.
Yep. So you've got Lenny Yoro or Trevor Chalobah.
Probably Chalobah.
You've got Tosin or De Ligt.
Probably Tosin.
You've got Luke Shaw or Cucurella.
That's the first one that's in the balance. I think Luke Shaw's a brilliant player, but Cucurella doesn't let the team down, does he? And he's younger. I will probably just about go Cucurella, and it breaks my heart. Just.
By the way, I'd pick Lenny Yoro, I think.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I'd tossing is good, but I think I'd go with De Ligt. I think that's probably their weakest part of their team, Chelsea.
Do you think so?
Yeah, if Colwill was in there, it'd be a different story. But then you've got on the right side, it's difficult really here. I'm going to do it in a little bit of a different way. I'll go into the midfield now. Caicedo or
Caicedo.
or Ugarte.
Caicedo.
Enzo Fernandez or Kobbie Mainoo.
I think if it was a question of do you want Kobbie Mainoo in your squad, I would take Kobbie Mainoo. He's so young and he's, I know it shouldn't matter, but he's Manchester born and bred, and he's a top talent. But if I want to win a game of football tomorrow, I would probably go with the other guy.
Cole Palmer
Or
Bruno Fernandes.
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer or Bruno Fernandes? Comment down below. Pedro Neto or Brian Mbeumo?
Both good players.
Come on, Ricky.
Neto's a top player.
He's a good player, but I think
Mbeumo's good.
Yeah.
Mbeumo's good, but you're speaking with your heart, Beth.
I'm speaking with football knowledge.
I'm going Neto.
You're going Neto over Mbeumo?
Yeah.
God, you must really rate him. Don't get me wrong, I think
Neto's fantastic.
I think Neto's good, but I think Mbeumo's like
Do you think he's better, yeah?
series levels, yeah. Okay.
Not many, is there?
Right. Mateus Cunha
Yeah.
or Alejandro Garnacho?
Cunha. At least there's one. At least there's one.
There's one. João Pedro or Benjamin Sesko?
From what we've seen so far, Pedro, hands down. Sorry.
Yeah, I would agree. I think João Pedro is he's such a good player. He's even gone up a level since he's gone to Chelsea.
Yeah.
You've got Jacob Fatu saying, Don, Ricky, love you both. Although I disagree with the Don very often, it's very important to hear different opinions. God bless you all. Let's win today. Different opinions is a good thing. It's a really good thing. Rob says, what did the pundits say before Amorim came into the team? The team has no identity and it'll take 4 transfer windows to sort it out. We need to have patience. The only thing I would say on, the links to Arteta and his project at Arsenal about needing time, I totally get all that. Like, Sir Alex had time and, he was at a point where he was under pressure at one point. But, a lot of people hark back to that and they hark back to Arteta. There's a lot of instances where managers come in and transform it very quickly. I mean, Thomas Frank, it's very early days, but he looks like he's done that already. Unai Emery, when he came into Aston Villa, it was almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
I know they're in a bit of a lull now, but, managers do come in and sometimes, instantly do make changes. What I would say is, I absolutely do think United are in a hole, and I do believe, there definitely needs to be time there to compete back at the top, 1,000,000%. And I don't think he's got a squad anywhere near it right now. I still think he needs wing-backs, still think he needs midfielders. Even the striker, I think, wasn't his preferred option. Sesko's got potential, but it's not like a proven striker. He's not got the proven goalkeeper. But that team is capable of more than 15th, I believe. It's like, he needs more time, but he also needs to at least get us into the top half of the table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needs to show progression to be given more time, is what I would say. Jacob Steen says, hi Beth, can we start a hashtag to stop Ruben's interviews? Because obviously he does so many interviews, and that's just media nowadays. But look, it's 4:15, team news is out. I'm so interested to see Man United's, but also Chelsea's as well, Ricky. Let's go and get it up and read it out to everybody. We also have Alex from Chelsea Fan TV joining us very shortly, so it'll be interesting to get an opposition fan's point of view as well. So, who starts at Old Trafford? How many have we got right? That is my question. Well, they've not actually posted it yet. It's 4:15. What are they doing? Okay, it's in the WhatsApp group. Here we go. We have got the team news is in. Ooh, interesting, Ricky. Maguire starts. Okay, so you've got Altay Bayındır in goal. You were right, and I think he's going to stick with him until after the international break. Altay Bayındır in goal. Ricky, you're going to absolutely love this back three. I should have listened to you. He's gone with
De Ligt, Maguire and Shaw.
Yep.
I'm not surprised one bit. Not surprised one little bit.
He's gone De Ligt, Maguire and Shaw back 3.
Yoro got substituted in the Burnley game for 5 minutes, then he got substituted in the City game for 15 minutes, and in the City game he just got turned by Doku when he shouldn't have got turned by Doku. And I'm not surprised one bit.
He is gone. I'm just trying to work it out here. So he's gone with... Wow, okay. So... why are people messaging me so it's going off my screen? Okay, so let me start from the beginning. Bayern Day in goal. De Ligt, Maguire and Shaw as your back 3. Your wing backs are Mazraoui and Dorgu. So he's got stuck with Mazraoui at wing back. His 2 midfielders are...
Casemiro and Bruno.
Yep. His 2 10s are...
Buemo and Ahmad.
Yep. And his striker is Sesko. Yeah. Wow. We were well far off.
Let's have a look. How many have we got?
We've got... I should have let you put Shaw on that side. We've got De Ligt.
Yeah.
We've got 1 from the back.
Yeah,
4.
but don't worry about the positions. Just the actual players. We've got the keeper wrong, haven't we?
We've got Mazraoui. We've got De Ligt. We've got Ahmad. We've got Casemiro. We've got Bruno. And we've got Sesko. We've got Mbumo. And we've got Dorgu.
Yeah.
We've done all right.
Yeah.
The only ones we've got wrong is Yoro, Mainu and the keeper.
And I didn't want to pick Yoro.
Yeah, so we did all right there.
I wasn't allowed not to pick Yoro. And by the way, everyone who's watching, 88% of you went with Yoro. And I told you, it'd be sure. I told you. Yoro's not what you all think he is, trust me.
Oh, God.
He isn't.
I just put in the group chat. In the group chat, so the team got sent in, right? And Goldbridge puts back saying, saying Ugarte did well and he gets dropped. And I typed back, but I didn't know I was in capital letters. Bruno was absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
Mark like that, but he was like, because I'm barking at him, because you know when you're accidentally in capital letters.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ugarte has been dropped and Yoro has been dropped out of the team. So I mean, what do you think of that team? Let me know. And then also, we've got to get the Chelsea team news out as well. Let's see what Chelsea have done. Okay, right. Garnacho does not start.
Right.
You have a starting 11 for Chelsea of Robert Sanchez, Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, Fofana, Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo, Estavo, Palmer, Neto and João Pedro. It's a very, very good team.
It's a very good team.
It's a very good team. That front 3 is lethal.
Very good
Palmer
team.
in behind, a midfield of Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough for Manchester United. It's going to be a tough game. On their bench, they have Jorgensen, Gusto, Tosin, Hato, Santos, Garnacho, Gittins, George and Gay. And then you've got as well...
The wide players are Estavo's a winger, isn't he?
Yeah.
So they've got Estavo and Neto, haven't they?
Neto. Oh, I think they can play. Both can play either or, to be honest with you. Let me just go back to Manchester United subs bench. So Man United subs bench is Lamens, Fredrickson, Heaven, Yoro, Mainu, Mount, Ugarte, Cunha and Xerxes. So
at least the bench looks strong.
The bench is strong. Some names are going to miss out getting on the pitch there.
Yeah.
That are going to be obviously frustrated to not start. So, yeah, let's see how it does. He has shaken the team up, but he's maybe shook it up in a way that fans might not be happy with. What we do know is that Bruno Fernandes is remaining in that pivot, and it's still his preferred pivot partnership of Casemiro and Bruno. And I think Amorim is consistently sending a message to the Manchester United board: get me a midfielder. He wants someone in there to play alongside Bruno that isn't Casemiro.
I don't understand why
because he dropped Casemiro for the derby. He wants someone to play next to Bruno.
But why next to Bruno? When we're actually saying that it's not Bruno's best position. We're actually saying that.
Yeah, we're saying that. Even the biggest Bruno fans are saying that. I think if your system has Dorgu and Mazraoui in better attacking positions than the best chance creator in the league over the last how many years, it's a flawed system. I don't think Dorgu and Mazraoui should be getting into better positions than Bruno Fernandes in the attacking third. But that is currently what's happening in this system. I don't know if it's not being played in the correct way. I don't know. But no, I think Mazraoui is a top player. Like I do. Dorgu, I'm not 100% sold. But I think that's where there's some flaws for me. Bruno is better closer to goal. He's not a deep line midfielder in my opinion. But I think in a midfield
but you're happy to buy a midfield player to play next to him in the pivot. Is that what you're happy to do?
That's what Amorim wants to do.
Right.
That is what Amorim clearly wants to do. He keeps playing him there. He's never been sold on Casemiro, although he's played him. He dropped him for the derby.
When you've only got 2. it's not going to be much better. There's not enough legs in the midfield to cover the width of the pitch. You need them number 10s dropping in deeper when they've got the ball. And if we had prime Roy Keane or prime Patrick Vieira playing next to Bruno, it is hardly going to improve us a tiny little bit. A tiny little bit. It's not. It's because Bruno's the one who shouldn't really be playing in the pivot, not the other one. Not the other one. If we had Keane and Vieira together, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Or, you know, players of that ilk, Kante and Matic, who won the league, playing for Chelsea in a similar fashion, because they're proper defensive-minded players. Bruno's not.
Well, get your comments in, everyone. Let me know your thoughts. Got loads of super chats coming in. We have Jacob Steen saying, "Hi Beth, can we?" Oh, I've done that one as well. So many people getting their comments in surrounding the team. Let's run a poll. Are you happy with that team? Are you happy with Ruben Amorim's selections? Let us know. Ricky, are you happy?
I'm pretty happy. There's not a lot of things like we just spoke about, haven't we, that we could have done. There isn't a left-sided player to take his place. Mazraoui's playing right back, and we said that might be the case. Ahmad's playing where you've got Bruno. That gives us a bit more pace up top there, you know, in the front three. So I'm as happy. The back three is definitely stronger. It's definitely stronger. Nobody wants to hear it, Beth. I've been saying it for 3 weeks, haven't I? I said it after the Burnley game. You know, it looks a stronger back three that without Yoro in it to me.
Well, a lot of people disagree with you. A lot of people are fuming that Yoro's been dropped, but
I know.
I find it very.
I knew he was going to be.
I find it very interesting that Yoro was subbed in the derby, subbed. Then Bruno speaks about it in an interview, which I thought was uncalled for, and then he's dropped. That's a tough week for Yoro.
That is tough, yeah.
It's tough, that.
What Bruno said was bang out of order as well. Bang out of order, criticising him. It's a tough job, that. I'm fed up of hearing the different ways and the different tactics that you can use while playing this system. I've heard loads and loads of times people saying one of your centre-backs has got to push into midfield to help the midfield. Well, first of all, that can't be a designated particular player. He said that Luke Shaw was doing it well last week, but if the ball's on the other side of the field, then it's got to be Yoro. Do you understand what I mean? So you can't just designate which player is going to be the one who pushes in. And then I'm also fed up of hearing that the full-backs have got to come forward and make it a four-man midfield, because when they do that, you've then only got 3 defending. It's just, to me, it's just a mess.
I'm absolutely gutted Cobby's not starting, to be honest with you. That's my takeaway. The rest of the team I'm all right with. I'm thinking the back three's probably gone with because of set pieces, and we've struggled off them. And you've got some, some aerial winners in there. Casemira's an aerial winner as well. De Ligt, Maguire defend the box pretty well. I think that's why he's gone with it, and that's been an issue for us. But I'm gutted Cobby Mainoo still hasn't got a start. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. That's my takeaway from that team. The rest of it,
and the manager said he's competing with Bruno, didn't he, for that spot?
Yeah,
he did, didn't he?
It's tough, isn't it? I think Mbumo and Ahmad as well. I think it's a little bit unbalanced there. Both like to pull to that right-hand side. Let's see. I mean, we are joined with Alex from Chelsea Fan TV to get his thoughts. Alex, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, mate. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Nice to meet you in person, 100%. I mean, first of all, let's talk a little bit about Chelsea. Yes. Looking at your team news, are you happy with that?
What do I think of my team losing?
No, team news.
Oh, team
Manchester accent up here.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not that surprised. I would have quite liked to see Gusto, to be honest with you. Like a lot of people were very unconvinced with James in the midfield, but since we've seen that PSG performance, everyone's opened up to it. Gusto overlapping, and he actually had a really good game against Bayern, bar the mistake. I think he gets a lot of criticism because when he inverts, when he goes in those deeper positions, he's not technically gifted like James. He can't spread the passes, but you know exactly what you're going to get. And me personally, as much as the more I've read into the inverting fullbacks, and we know Maresca loves it, Pochettino did it with Cucurella last season towards the end. I just like a classic right back who likes to get forward. But we're not going to do that today, obviously. We're going to have Fofana in there. He didn't have a great time last year, if I'm not wrong. He was one of the reasons we conceded. But listen, he's got to play at some point, and he's had a lot of time to recover. He was a right back against Brentford. So what I think we're probably going to see is Cucurella inverting into the midfield, and then we'll have a back three with James, Fofana, and is it Tosin or Chalobah?
It's Tosin and Chalobah.
Tosin and Chalobah?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Well, they didn't have a great game against Bayern, to be fair. I mean, in terms of the midfield, I think we're going to be very comfy. Like, I totally agree. We said this the other day when I was speaking with Beth. I would have 100% put Kobbie Mainoo in that deeper line role. And I don't really understand what's going on there. Like, I mean, I've watched a couple of United games, but I haven't seen all of it. What's the story with Mainoo? Because he wanted to go out and get minutes. Amorim's come out and said, you know, you can challenge. I want you to stay. Like, what's going on there?
I've got no idea what's going on. I think he's more comfortable. I mean, Beth's a big Bruno fan, although even Beth doesn't want him in that position. She wants him further forward. But how the manager can say that it's between Bruno and Kobbie Mainoo, because that's what he said in an interview a few weeks back. He basically said, like the two midfield players, he's got one's going to be Ugarte or Casemiro, the other one's going to be Bruno or Mainoo.
Yeah.
Now, if he's got Bruno and Mainoo competing for the spot, and I know Bruno's the captain, Bruno's not playing that fantastic. Even his biggest fans would probably say that. Well, do you not, Beth? He's not playing that fantastic.
No, he's not.
That Kobbie Mainoo doesn't deserve at least 20 minutes or half an hour. I mean, he does bring him on, Mainoo, but not usually for Bruno. He usually moves him about, doesn't he?
Kobbie Mainoo came on in the derby and was our best midfielder.
Yeah, he was class when he came
Even though
on.
the game was already gone, he brought him on when the game was gone, so it's unfortunate. But it's just, when you're doing that as a player, it must be so disheartening that you still can't really get any opportunity. Just to come back on that, it is Chalobah, Tosin's on the bench.
Right.
That was my bad.
So it's James, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case then you'll see Cucurella hopefully inverting James a little bit deeper. I don't want to see him overlap, he'll get injured otherwise. And then we're hoping that Fofana can have some good distribution, but I mean, I don't really know what to think about our defence.
James is a little bit like your right-sided Luke Shaw for us, like very injury prone but very good player when he's fit. I mean, James is, in my opinion, level above.
Better than Luke Shaw.
I think James is top quality when he's
He
like fully firing. So Luke Shaw is good as well. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, you want them players to be overlapping, but they've just not got the fitness to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of, because we spoke about this, so I want to get your thoughts on it. In terms of Man United, I think you said to me when we did our preview, this is the first time you're coming up here pretty confident, not really that fearful of United. I mean, what do you make of the way Ruben Amorim's setting up this team, his signings, like Ruben Amorim as a whole? What do you think of him?
Let's put this into perspective. So last year we went down 1-0 and Caicedo scored that banger. Now, I go to all the games, home and away, European. I was in Munich the other day, and I've seen Chelsea win consistently. I was there in Porto when we beat City, and I've seen have our banter era, which you're currently experiencing. Mm-hmm. You know, when you go to a ground and you score and there's just that different type of buzz, that buzz that you get in really big games, finals, that's the kind of buzz that I get scoring at Old Trafford, because it doesn't feel like you should be winning, even if you look like a stronger team, if you're in a better position. And now I go into this game, no disrespect to Man United, like I'm really not like that, but you guys, if you would have sacked Amorim, I would have said something different. I think this is probably going to be his last game, if I'm totally honest with you. The way he's speaking, the things he's saying, like, I understand it to a point, because you have to give managers time. I believe in a process. Maresca was the first manager that I've ever wanted to get sacked at Chelsea, and publicly slated him. And look how I turned out. So, you know, I think there is an element of having a rough patch, but also at the same time, he's saying he's not going to change anything. He's not going to adapt his philosophy. Like, this is for match-going fans, because I can relate to match-going fans. What worse thing is there than basically a manager saying, we're rubbish now and we're going to continue to be rubbish. I'm not going to change anything. No matter what money, what players I've been given, I'm not going to adapt. You've just got to suffer. You've got to sit there and suffer. Like, how does that make any sense? So there'll be people watching at home, and they're generally the more patient fans. And then you'll have the match-going fans who can't put up with it, because, I don't know what your season tickets cost. I presume you're both season ticket holders. Mm-hmm. Record profits, season ticket profits are up by 17%, whatever it is. And you're having to sit through all this dross. So it's the match-going fans who really need to be taken into consideration in this matter, because they are the ones that are there to support the team. And once you've lost them, you are finished, you are done. And I think this is going to be the final game. Let's just look at Arsenal, the opening game you had. I didn't watch the game, I saw the highlights. Seemed like you played really well and you lost. If it's like that, maybe there's an element of patience to be had, because you can see a style, a clear process. You can see that you're creating chances, and that's fine. But you still have to finish the chances. And if you're creating, How many managers can we talk about that, look great, but they didn't get anything out of it? Pochettino is a great example from our side. Now, me personally, I didn't mind Poch. A lot of people hated him. But was he going to win you trophies? Probably not. The main thing for me, though, was, are we getting better? And we went from 12th to 6th. You look at last season, you look at this season, are you improving? So that's an open question for anyone that's watching. I'd probably say no based on the results so far. And you don't have European fixtures, you don't have any congestion to worry about. You've spent big, you've got good profiles with Cunha and Mbeumo, who I'm a big fan of. I think Sesko's pretty poor, to be honest with you, based on what I've seen. I think that is a waste of money, but who else can you go and get? And you're now going into a situation where you're going to have to back players more and more because the money's not going to continue to come if you don't have Champions League football. And that goes on to the manager as well. So there's an element of patience, and then for the match-going fans, I think that honestly it's the hardest job in world football right now. I can't think of a harder job.
It's really, really tough, and I think you kind of summed up a lot how some fans are feeling, especially when you are every single week getting yourself, because we've only got one game a week now. We've not got that Champions League football. We've not even got European football. If you're getting your hyping yourself up, you're expecting to see something different. You're expecting to see a result. You want to see just a winning performance. You want to see goals, and then you consistently let down. It is super frustrating. You've got to remember the standards of Manchester United. I mean, we have a lot of fans coming in the comments, a lot of viewers coming in the comments with their opinions. So let's read some of them out. You have Peter saying, even sticking with 3-4-3, play Manu, take out Shaw and shuffle players around. Bruno in 10, Ahmed right wing back, Euro left centre back, madness. Matey Boy says, hey Beth, what do you and the panel think of this lineup? Lamens, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Euro, and Mbeumo, Manu, Casemiro, Ahmad, Bruno, Sesko, Cunha. What do you think of that, Ricky?
Got no Luke Shaw in it, has it?
Ricky won't have it if there's no Luke Shaw in it. Saint Blanco says, greetings, Don, Ricky, my Beth and Alex. Thank you very much. AK23 says, Fletcher for Amorim, that's how bad he is. Gabe Hitch says, Bruno single-handedly dropping goals and Euro. Thomas McArdle says, no looking good today, keeper will cost us. Irakli says, buying Deer, Shaw, still no Manu, is Amorim trying to sack himself? Stian Lund says, the biggest problem is that Martinez is the only player in defence that understands the third midfield role. We need him back and to get working. Wolfie 35p says, Lamens should be in for buying Deer. Fraz 1L says, regardless of who starts, can they just get service for Sesko, please? That's all I ask for. AK23 says, Ruben is stubborn. He will sack himself. I mean, there's so many more comments coming in, and I will get them through to the show. Thank you very much. Be patient, and they will be read out. But, Alex, it is an interesting one, actually, because for a man that's massively under pressure, he could have appeased a lot of the fans today. He could have played Kobbie Mainoo in there. He could have moved Bruno into a more attacking position. But he's chosen to stick by his guns despite all the pressure. I mean, to you, is that a sign of conviction, or to you is that, oh great, we've got a better chance now of coming here and getting a result?
No, I would say there's conviction there. I mean, he definitely knows what he wants to do, but listen, you're either going to have the fans on side or not. I think at this point, you're probably going to lose them. The way you're going, and I'm not watching all these games, but I'm hearing what fans are saying. It's perfectly a reasonable argument. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Probably Robert Sanchez is a good example for us. He was the number one reason that fans like myself wanted Maresca sacked last season. Why the hell are we starting this goalkeeper, right? But then you go back and you change things. You put Jorgensen in. Jorgensen wasn't great for us, and you go back and you actually realise, for what you're trying to do, maybe that is the best thing, even if it's still not good. And there might be an element of that. I don't really know. He obviously sees what Kobbie Mainoo's doing in training. Fernandes is obviously a very capable player. But this isn't necessarily just about what's happening on the ball. This is off the ball as well. I watched the Fulham game when he didn't track back. We had a similar thing with Garnacho against Brentford. These are basics, and the more you look into it, the more you realise you don't have to be a top manager to teach these players these type of skills. Sometimes you just need to know as a player what you're doing. And as a naturally deeper player, Kobbie Mainoo, you would think, is going to be better in that type of situation. But then who do you drop to bring Mainoo into the squad? Like, what are you proposing?
Well, I'd certainly drop Bruno better.
You'd get rid of Bruno?
I would, yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan?
No, I'm not. No, his possession loss stat. Everybody talks about his goal stats and his assist stats, but his possession loss stats is one of the worst in the league year on year.
I mean, but that doesn't matter if you're still getting the end product,
and
right?
I want us to look after the ball better and play better football. And I think Kobe Mainoo would look after the ball better and play more simple passes.
But if you're losing 15, 20 goals a season, I mean, how do you replace that? Where do you get that from?
Well, that's a big figure. It isn't that many to start with.
Right. Ross Fernandes.
You're not going to convince Ricky on this one.
But when you say lose it, you're talking about an individual scoring so many goals, whereas I believe it's a team game. And look, it matters how many goals the team score.
You are correct.
It matters how many goals the team score. So
but look at us, right?
We scored so few goals, Alex, that I believe it would be easily replaceable, dispersed around the team. I'm not saying one guy will come in. I think he only scored 7 in the league last year, and I think 2 or 3 of them were penalties.
But overall,
I think he scored 7 in the league last year.
Overall, let me get Bruno Fernandes' stats up because it's
For last season.
Right, let's look at this. Palmer, right, carried us under Pochettino. Then Maresca comes in. Palmer still has a pretty good season. In fact, I think he got 20 odd GA, decent, but it was 10 or so less than the season prior. Maresca said you've got to spread the goals out, but then you look at who comes in and the replacements. All the other players that can contribute this season, for example, we've got Esteval, João Pedro, Delap, Fernandes coming in. He's playing as more of an 8 now, getting into the box. I know that we're going to get contributions from Cucurella. He likes to get into the box at times. So I can clearly tell you where a lot of those goals are going to be made up. If I'm looking at United now, I definitely see goals from Mbeumo. I think Cunha's a good player. But again, you take your creative outlook, because that's what Fernandes really is in your team. He's the creator. He's a player who can make things happen.
11 assists in the Premier League last season. 11 assists, 8 goals.
8 goals. How many pens does it then? 3 pens? Maybe even 4?
Don't know. But across the whole season, it was 19 goals, 19 assists. Not bad.
19 goal involvements.
No, 19.
Not 19 of each.
Yeah, it is.
It can't.
It is.
Oh, you mean in all competitions?
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought
in all
I'm only talking about the league. Only the league matters, Beth.
Okay, well, if
it's
only the league, it's 11 assists and 8 goals. Yet you've moved your creator with the 11 assists into a deep role. I don't understand that, like Alex was saying. So sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. But I can tell you clearly where the rest of the goals are coming from. And I can't do that with you guys. You don't have that. That's not anything to do with Amorim. That's just the fact that players are just crap.
How many goals did we score in the league?
44.
We scored 44 goals. It's barely over 1 a game, and I'm not
having it.
Don't
you want to improve on that?
I'm not having it that if we remove any player from that team, but play a little bit better, that we can't score 1 goal a game. I'm just not having it.
You'll have to agree to disagree. I, on the other hand, would play Bruno Fernandes more in a more attacking role, which I think is his best position, and I do believe he is a very, very good player.
Mbeumo and Cunha out, or Armas.
Manager's got to make that decision.
Yeah.
He's got to make that decision. I definitely won't be leaving Mbeumo out. I'll tell you that.
What did you think of Jadon Sancho?
Oh God, there we go.
He was all right. That's probably the best way I could say it. You know what? I didn't mind Sancho. I didn't love him. I didn't hate him. He was quality when he first come in, and you can understand why we didn't sign him permanently. Also, this is also he's he could have easily taken a pay cut and we would have taken him, which we were still against at Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think the majority of Chelsea fans.
It's just the wages.
20 million for a squad player is all right, but if I'm looking at Garnacho, I think that's a direct improvement. To be honest with you, on Sancho, I think he suits our system more. I think he's better in 1v1s. I think that he'll suit Maresca's system.
We'll see.
If I look at Madueke's gone, we brought in Esteval, direct upgrade. I do think that Sancho would have been better than Gittins. Well, I think we overspent there, 52,
I'm in a
55 million.
WhatsApp group with a few Chelsea fans, and quite a few of them weren't over the moon with him. And twice last season, towards the end of the season, I was watching a Chelsea game on the box, and you were struggling. I can't remember if you were drawing or losing, but you needed a goal. And I said, you need to get Sancho on, and they all started laughing. And they brought Sancho on, and Chelsea scored immediately. I can't remember what game it was. Just dead quick, and then the cup final, they 1-0 down. They're all laughing. I said, they need Sancho on. They brought Sancho on at 1-0 down. In 10 minutes, it was 3-1. Facts. Facts.
Ricky's got a very big love for
He
certain
likes Sancho.
players,
Yeah, well,
and Jadon Sancho is one of them players. I mean, somebody needs to. I mean, just there, you said you think Garnacho is a direct improvement. I know Ricky will disagree on that. I mean, Manchester United fans have a lot of mixed feelings towards Alejandro Garnacho. He's our player where we wanted him to be, you know, the next superstar of United. He's academy graduate, even though we did buy him into the academy. He still kind of came through as an academy graduate. He scored some big moments for us, done well in some big games for us, very crucial to our FA Cup win against City. But on the other hand, you had the Garnacho that was off the field issues, was always looking for glory instead of making the pass, was not tracking back enough, taking too many stupid shots. And I think United fans had a bit of frustration with him. And then with the antics around the manager, I think that's where a lot of them lost a lot of faith in him. I mean, what are your thoughts on him? I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans saying he should have started today. I mean, what are your thoughts on him?
You're only as good as your environment, and the environment at Man United is difficult for any player, any young player, any experienced player. I mean, you see so many players coming in for big money and not necessarily performing. The thing is with Garnacho, you've seen the potential, and then you go, right, take me to the next step. And it just felt like at United he was restricted for whatever reason. That there was
Formation didn't suit him under Amorim. Under Ten Hag, he was, I think, suited to that role as a left winger,
Yes.
but under Amorim, as an inside 10, he's just not going to work.
No, same with Manu, to be fair. I think Manu was pretty good under Ten Hag as well. So, I mean, there's definitely a tactical element to it, making sure that you get the best out of your players. But I just think it was the right time for him to go, right time for him to move on. And a lot of people might not have been happy with the deal from Chelsea and Man United's perspective. I was one of the people in January, we were speaking about this in the window. Pretty much most Chelsea fans are going, we don't want to touch Garnacho. And I was always of the opinion, listen, if you can get it for 20 million, I'll take him, because we'll flip that for a profit. You know what Clear Lake do. They're here to make money if they can. And the beauty of what we do is we sign these players on long contracts. He's on a 7-year deal. He'll definitely have a pay rise. He's probably doubled his wage to 100k or whatever. I think he's on 45 for you guys. And yeah, he just fits what we're doing, right? And there's a player that wants to be here, rejected a number of proposals to come to Chelsea. If this was on the other side and Man United fans were looking at the player and they saw the same sort of things, you'd be saying a lot of good things. Irrespective of the performances, right? You want that hunger, you want that commitment. And I think that we get that from Garnacho. To go more on the footballing side, listen, you can't say he's going to be a success or a failure. For me, it's just a fair deal, right? United fans wanted more money, Chelsea fans wanted to save money. I think in the end we sort of found that middle ground. If we would have got him for 30 million, I'd sit here and say we pulled your pants down. If we would have bought him for 50 million, I'd say what the hell are we doing? We are in the position of power. You're trying to get rid of this guy. Plus the fact that we probably could have spent that money on a centre-back. Like we've spoken about what we're going to do in the middle. We've got Fofana coming back, etc. I don't know if you watched the Bayern game, like a couple of issues in defence at the moment. But yeah, I'm a fan of Garnacho. I think he'll do well.
Do you think he'll score today?
I'd love nothing more. I would love
I want Mason Mount to come off the bench and score.
Yeah. You know what's funny? So, totally random. Where my dad sits at Chelsea, I used to sit in his seats and we were right next to the Mounts. So, yeah, we used to see them quite a lot. But I don't know. I think Mounts, yeah. Don't really have much to say about him, to be honest with you.
Keeping quiet on him. Hopefully he comes off the bench and scores. That's what I want to see. I mean, we've got some super chats coming in. We've also got a stat on screen, which is really, really interesting. So take a look at that. If you are only listening through audio, and for you guys, it's Bruno Fernandes versus Cole Palmer stats this season. So you can't really read too much into the goals and assists. Not been too many games, but in terms of progressive passes per 90, 9.9 for Bruno, 2 for Palmer. Bruno is sitting in more of a deeper role. Progressive carries, Palmer 3.3, Bruno 2.3. Key passes, still playing in that deeper role. Bruno Fernandes was 3 there versus Palmer's 2.3. Pass completion, 77% for Palmer, 76% for Bruno. So very similar. And then defensive actions, 5.54 for Bruno and 2.27 for Cole Palmer. Obviously the eye test is the most important thing. I think Palmer's a top player. But Bruno Fernandes there still is a stat man. He kills it on the stats.
Does, doesn't he?
We've got
Stats.
Footy King saying, disappointed in Euro being left out, guys. Defence lacking pace today. Chelsea attack very fluid and dynamic. I think we can get something today, though. The Notorious player says, put Bruno in number 10 and swap Ahmad for Mainu. Sitters in with a super chat as well. Am says, why does Shaw deserve to start after his performance in the derby? Why is Mazraoui starting as right wing back when it's clearly not his best position? Angling for More says, guys, I'm wondering if Mazraoui will be in the midfield with Casemiro, Bruno and Mbeumo 10s and Ahmad right wing back. A lot of people have this Mazraoui in the midfield question. I really highly doubt it. I think it's going to be Mazraoui right wing back. But getting in with your poll, are you happy with the starting 11? Yes or no? Keep your votes going on that. Make sure you smash a like on the video, share the video around, guys. Alex, got a few more questions for you, and I can bring you into them, Ricky, as well. First of all, just quickly, who do you think's United's best signing of the summer?
On the eye test, Cunha, but Mbeumo would get you more goals. So that would be, if I had to say just GA, I'd say Mbeumo, to be fair.
Who would you say?
You might have to help me with who we've signed.
Lamans, Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko.
I'd probably go on Mbeumo. Yeah, so far.
I would also go with Mbeumo as well. I think he's a top player and probably our best attacking player. Who do you think Chelsea's best signing is?
This summer? God, we've signed a few. Our best signing is probably João Pedro, to be honest with you.
I agree.
I was in terms of value for money, Delap was the best. But João Pedro, we made some great signings. Honestly, we made some fantastic signings. Sorry to rub it in.
Is Delap fit, by the way?
No, he's out for a couple
He's a
of
top
months.
player.
It's out until end of November, I think.
Yeah. What João Pedro gives us, and Delap as well, to be fair, is they give. What you get with Nicholas Jackson, what you had with Nicholas Jackson, is a player who was willing to run. He was a hustler. There's one thing that I always respect about Jackson. He pressed, he ran the ball down, and he actually scored a fair amount of goals. A lot of the goals he scored were from open plays, no penalties or anything like that. And he had good link up with Palmer at times as well. So in terms of Jackson, I didn't have a massive problem with Jackson, but it's like anything. You go, we're here, we want to get to that next stage. And João Pedro is that player that levels us up from team that are basically struggling to get in the top 4 to a team that I'll have a conversation about winning the title. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but I can enter that conversation. If there's a group chat, you can put me in the group chat. I don't think Chelsea will win the league, but I do think we'll probably finish like 3rd or something like that. Our title race was over at the end of December last season, so I'm basically looking for us to just prolong that for a little bit longer. And we're going to have Champions League as well, so we're not going to be able to rotate like we did in the conference and just play 2 separate 11s. So that will be the real challenge. But yeah, João Pedro's just been unreal. His link up, his heading ability,
top player,
his technical ability. Like, I can't really sit here and say that he's done anything badly.
Would you say that's Chelsea's best sign as well, Ricky?
I think so. He's a really good player. Well, let's put it this way: they do really well to sign a better player.
Yeah, I think as well. Some people in the comments say not Garnacho, no. 82%, sorry, not 82. I think it's 88% of you guys have said no. You are not happy with the starting 11. 82% of you have said
That's
no.
That's the 82% who said Lenny Yoro should be playing.
Yeah, 82% over nearly 11,000 votes now, and 82% say they're not happy.
When we guessed the team up there, and I said Luke Shaw's got to be in the team, and she put it to a poll, and 88% said it's got to be Lenny Yoro in Luke Shaw's place. Lenny Yoro's dropped and Luke Shaw's playing.
So why have they dropped him?
Because he's not playing very well.
Has he been?
He's not playing very well.
Who do you think's better, Alex?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you think's better? Put you on the spot. Who would you have started?
I trust your judgment.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, you've already got him on side, Ricky. I mean, my next one is if you could take one Man United player and put him in Chelsea's team, not Garnacho obviously now because you've got him, who would you pick?
It's quite an easy decision. I'd probably pick Cunha, to be fair. Because that left-hand side, that's the one area we could upgrade. Because we signed Garnacho.
You've signed Garnacho?
No, but Garnacho and Gittins are like, they can get there.
On
but
Garnacho, though,
I know that Cunha can come in straight away.
Neto's playing mainly on the right, is he?
No, Esteval will play on the right.
Neto's playing today, isn't he?
Yeah, Neto will play on the left and then Palmer will be in the 10. Yeah, Neto can play on both sides. I mean, he didn't have a great game against Bayern Munich, though, to be fair. But you'll see most of your action on the right-hand side anyway. So I think that you're going to see Esteval and Palmer linking up. Have you seen Esteval play yet?
Not really. I did watch a lot of that World Cup.
I watched him for that. I watched him for Palmeiras against you.
When we played the opening game against Palace and he made his debut, I got messaged the next day from a number of season ticket holders that said, Alex, I haven't seen that sort of excitement within a stadium for a player when he's got the ball since Eden Hazard signed for us. And I don't know what it is about Esteval, but the ball just sticks to his feet. He's magical, honestly, he's magical. He's just a beautiful player to watch. There's not really another way to put it.
A bit like Bruno.
I'm not sure.
Just a little joke.
Esteval, the times I have seen him, he does look really, really good.
Oh, he's great.
Still very raw, but
He scores a lot of goals, but he hasn't quite hit that level for Chelsea. But like he'll get GA this season. I think the main concern is when you've got a young player coming in, you don't want him to play too much. And then you risk, having the total flip side. And I guess we see that with you guys with Maino and Garnacho going from being such a hyped up player to not playing at all, really. So I don't really want to have a similar situation like that with Esteban, but I don't think we will.
do you think Cunha's better than Bruno then, if you take Cunha?
I think Cunha's a player that can fit in more systems. I think Bruno's a player that you very much have to play around him. And if you need him to fit into a certain type of system, like we're seeing at the moment with Amorim, can't really adapt in that sense. Like, there's one way that you play with Bruno. For me, it's just as a 10. He can run, he can press, he can do all those things. But if you're asking him to contribute more than just GA, I totally agree with you. Like, in terms of his ability to give the ball away, does that constantly. But you can accept that when you're getting 20, 30 GA. When you lose that, and then you've got the defensive vulnerabilities as well, then you've got a big issue. And I think if you continue doing that, then there's no doubt that he just needs to go out of the team, or Amorim needs to get sacked. Probably the latter will happen.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think we both said, Ricky, that we'd take Caicedo if we could take one player from Chelsea. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Cole Palmer is absolutely top draw.
Yeah.
Like you said, Esteval, it's like a good young talent that you could bring in.
Yeah.
João Pedro, again, really
Loads of
good
players.
player that we could do with. But our big issue is our midfield. So Caicedo is absolutely top
100%.
quality. Like, top quality, seriously good player. So that's who we'd pick there. Now we go on to, let me ask you your score prediction, Alex.
I am going to go 3-1 Chelsea.
3-1.
3-1 Chelsea. And to be fair, my
Disrespect was in
predictions
this
changed a little
studio.
bit from yesterday. Because when I spoke with you yesterday, Beth, you said 2-2 or 2-1 to Chelsea. My confidence has just increased, to be fair. I feel more confident. I said this, like, we never used to feel like this. This is weird. It's a weird feeling coming here and basically going, I'm going to stroll in, walk out with 3 points and off I pop. So that's the attitude that I take into this game. And that is not just because of the feeling around Chelsea, because our form hasn't been brilliant the past 2 games, but it's the toxicity around the stadium that I think we're going to have when that ball gets given away, when Bruno gives the ball away, when you've got a counter-attacking opportunity and you pass backwards. Those are the things that are going to feed into our game. And I just think it's going to suit us very well.
Gutted to hear you talk about United like that, but it's true.
That's where we are, isn't it?
Yep.
We finished 15th last year, Beth, so what can you expect?
I respect the fact that you still want to do this. I mean, if I finish 15th, I'm taking a break. So fair play.
For life. United fan for life. Ricky, no matter what. I want to see you start winning though. Ricky, what's your score prediction?
1-1.
1-1.
That's more with my heart.
That's a safe bet.
More with my heart than my head.
My heart was saying
4-0 for United.
3-1 United, but my head, I'm going with 2-2, and even that's pretty optimistic, to be honest, considering where I think we could be. I mean, I've said, I think, who did I say I think could score? I said I think Mbeumo will score, and then Mount off the bench. Come on.
Oh, that would be
please. I'd love it.
Mount and Garnacho to score in the same game.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? But yeah, that's what I'm kind of going with. And then we do at the end of our shows, Alex, our players to watch. So you pick one player. Why is he your player to watch? Why is he one player you're keeping maybe one extra little eye on? So I'll let you go first, Ricky. Who's your player to watch?
What's he called? Esteval.
Esteval, yeah.
Yeah.
For United as well.
And for United, well, now that we know the team news, I can pick a fresh one, can't I? If I hadn't picked one, I'm going to watch Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
Next first start of the season, isn't it, in the league?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. My player to watch. I mean, I have multiple. One is Patrick Dorgu.
Yeah.
Because he gets so much of the ball in the final third and doesn't do enough with it, and I just need him to start actually crossing it properly and put some good crosses into the box. So he's one, and also Benjamin Sesko, our striker that is coming for a lot of money. He's had one Premier League start, but I need to see more from him. I want to see him get off the mark. So, good game at Old Trafford, first Premier League start at Old Trafford. I'm watching him, and I'm always watching Cole Palmer for Chelsea. I think if we don't close him down, he could easily just like stroll into our box and score a goal. So, like he has done in the previous game at Old Trafford. So, yeah, that's mine. Alex?
Cole Palmer's definitely a good one. He's reignited his form in the past 2 games. Against Bayern Munich, he was by far our best player. He just looked levels above everyone else. And I don't know if I was saying this to you, Beth, or another United fan I was speaking to. I was like, if you give him space, he will punish you. And I don't know if it was you or someone. The response was, he'll get space.
So we will give him space.
So I would definitely watch out for Palmer. I think João Pedro's got a pretty good record here with Brighton as well, so worth looking at him. But I mean, in terms of curiosity, what I don't really know is going to happen is Fofana. This is his first start down the middle for us this season. I'm intrigued to see who is going to be in charge of passing the ball out, because what Maresca generally does is invert one of the fullbacks and then he'll have a back three. So I'll be intrigued to see who's in the middle actually doing those passes, because he has complained about Fofana's distribution as one of the reasons he doesn't want to play him there. So I can imagine that will probably be, I think you say Chalobah's starting, right?
Yes, he is starting.
It'll probably be Chalobah if Tossin's not playing. So, yeah.
Do you not think Reece James start right back?
Yes, but I wouldn't. I'd probably keep him deep and I'd invert Cucurella. Like we generally invert on the right hand side. We saw the left constantly under Poch, but Maresca's sort of 70% on the right, and then every now and again he'll stick Cucurella in that. Me personally, I've always preferred it when Cucurella goes into that position. I just think that he's very capable. And I don't think you lose anything when he is there. Whereas with James, you know what he can give you when he's further out. If you're not overlapping, you still get that defensive quality from James as well. So there's a part of me that just wants to be cautious. He's played so many minutes. He started against Munich in the midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if he got substituted after like 60 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I mean that's a bit of a question mark, I suppose, that back line, what we do. But in terms of the strategy, it's going to be to overload the midfield, get the first goal, and just take control. And as long as we get that first goal, I think game's done.
I mean, personally, for me, I'd rather see him putting Reece James inverted. I think Reece James he's still good inverted, he's just quality on that right-hand side. His crossing, his ability to track back, everything. He's such a good player.
I wouldn't have a problem with either, but I just think that for this game specifically, bearing in mind what we've already seen from James, I think he'll have an easier time just sitting back, not having to worry about everything else around. If he can just see what's in front of him, have a little bit of help alongside him as well, I just think that would be slightly easier. But I wouldn't have a problem with him inverting.
Nice, thank you. Interesting stuff. It's always good to get an opposition fan's perspective on things. And everyone as well, we've got nearly 16,000 people watching us, so make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you hit that like button, and we're on 1.7k now. Let's be good to push up to 2k before we finish and hand over to Mr. Goldbridge for the watch along. We've got Gemma G in the chat saying, welcome to the United Stand Members Club. Thank you very much for that, joining our members club. Everybody else, if you want to be part of the members club, make sure you go and join. Sanchit says he is expecting players to be flexible, but he himself cannot be flexible. Talking about Amorim there. This is unfair. Players cannot be blamed if they are played out of position. What do you think to that?
It's a fair shout, isn't it? I mean, players have got to play where they're told to play, and they've got to give it the best shot. They shouldn't use it as an excuse, but it's still, it's still favourable if you can play in your best position, isn't it?
Well, it's obvious.
It's obvious, yeah.
JDV says, Beth, what about Mazraoui as an inverted wing-back? Small tactical change. Maybe you've sold them on the inverted wing-backs there. He can definitely come into the midfield for sure. I mean, one thing I'm looking to see as well is with Ahmad and Mbeumo. Like, if you look at them two players, they often find themselves in similar spaces. Both like on paper right wingers really, and they're both playing in the tens. I'd just be interested after a week of training. I thought there was a bit of an imbalance at City where they weren't both getting in the best spaces, whether they've worked on that, and Ahmad's maybe going to pull more out to the left this time, give Mbeumo a little bit more space, how they'll work together. will be interesting to see. Footy King says, disappointed in Euro being left out, guys. Defence lacking pace today. Chelsea attack very fluid and dynamic, but I still think we can get something. Thank you very much for all your comments coming in. I mean, Alex, before we let you get off to the game, I just want to ask you, thoughts and expectations for United for the rest of the season, quickly, before we let you go.
Thoughts and expectations?
Do you reckon we'll crack top half of the table?
I mean, that's such a hard question. I said before I saw one United game, if you finish in the Conference League, it's a successful season. You should not be disheartened by Conference League. I'm wearing it right now. Be proud. Embrace it. It's European football. I don't think you're going to do it. I don't think you're going to finish in a European spot. So I'll probably say 10th. I think you'll improve. Because I think you'll sack Amorim. You'll have a short-term bounce back. And then you'll probably get more out of players like Fernandes, maybe get Maino back into the side. Ultimately, if you've got a certain group of players, you need to work around them. And if you've got a manager who's saying, I'm not going to do that, then you're not giving any hope to anyone internally. You're not, the dressing room, I can't imagine, how can they understand why they're being played in all these different positions? But yeah, probably 10th. So I think you'll improve, if that means anything.
I'll take that.
On that positive note, it's time to get to the game, guys. I mean, I'm hoping for a bit more than that, but I can understand where you're coming from. Alex, you've been absolutely brilliant. And where can everybody catch you?
Chelsea Fan TV, and we will be doing fan cams after the game. So,
well, tell you what,
come and join the celebrations.
You come and if we win, you've got to come up here and give us a little.
Oh, is there a show after the game as well?
Yeah.
What time's the show?
What time's the show?
About half hour after the whistle.
Yeah.
And how long is it?
It's an hour.
All right, we'll see what I can do.
See what you can do. If especially if
United
we win. But look, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Goldbridge is now live for the watch along. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Ricky.
Pleasure.
Ricky, your last words?
Come on, United!
Yeah, we love it. It's our good luck. And make sure you head over to Goldbridge's watch along and put in the comments Mount versus Garnacho. That's what we're looking for. And we will see you afterwards for the fans forum. Thank you everyone for watching.